Hello, this is Ken Dabbs. I am providing a summary overview of conceptualizing structured experiences seeking interdisciplinary integration. Research conducted by Matt D. Dwarden, Peter J. Ward, and Patty A. Freeman from Brigham Young University. The research begins with an abstract summary, which talks about the void of currently having a framework for structured experiences. And this notion that that void can be filled by leveraging insights and research findings from frameworks from both the leisure and entertainment recreational experience models. The introduction talks about different studies and periodicals which have heightened the interest in providing structured experiences and other related research that has created this case that structured experiences, particularly in the market, is an evolving expectations from consumers and the importance that they place on structured experiences and the evolving brands that are benefiting from customer loyalty, which all points back to structured experiences. But the need is also explained. Although there is interest in structured experiences, no current framework exists for understanding how to consistently create a rewarding experience. And so the paper moves into the literature review summary, and research is cited from leisure, recreational, and the marketing field to really identify and explore commonalities that can lend themselves to a common structured experience framework. Common experiential phases begin to form as similarities surface. Quote here, all three fields recognize the dual nature of experiences, and to varying degrees, researchers within each field have attempted to further define the participant factors, like what they value and the relationships that they form and evolve from as a result of the experiences, as well as the provider factors and how the provider their role in providing structured experiences. The conclusion they make is that really little coordination or collaboration has occurred across, or at times even within these fields, which has led again to the current fractured perspective of experiences. And so what you see here really is a summary of the different structured experiences, if you will, within leisure, tourism, and marketing. Furthering the point that no common framework exists, although there are similarities between each one. So the paper then moves on to the unifying concept of structured experiences. And the model that I'm showing here, the iterative experience co-creation process, is the formation of their common framework. Some key points that should be pointed out is the authors focus on the participant as being a co-creator of the process or the experience. Any experience that is attempted to be offered by the provider without the participant's input will not be successful, according to the researchers. In other words, the participant from prior to the experience, during the experience, and after the experience has to be fully involved and be a part of creating and sustaining that experience. And so they are, again, the participants, a big part of the formula there. They talk about the feedback loop that you see illustrated by the curve dotted line going from the right, the experience outcomes, back again to the participants and the provider. Throughout the experience, there are checkpoints to gauge the sentiments of both the participant and the provider, providing options for adjusting and changing and implementing new factors to make certain that the experience is well received by the participant in the end. At the bottom, you see the experience phases going from anticipation to participation, which is where the actual experience is happening, and then finally the reflection and integration. And all three phases are very important facets of the overall experience. And so the experience is not limited to kind of what happens end to end. For instance, on a leisure trip, the experience isn't just arriving to the hotel, experiencing travel related fun events, and then flying home again. The experience actually begins during the planning, during the anticipation of the trip, during the actual trip, and then upon returning, thinking about the trip and thinking about the fun that you had and the different experiences that led to that fun. And so the unifying concept of structured experiences creates the framework that Drouardin, Ward, and Freeman seek to form that can shape, define, and provide guidance to those who are creating structured processes or structured experiences. In summary, although experiences have received significant scholarly and practical attention, the diverse fields interested in this topic have produced a fragmented literature. This framework that I just showed, based on a synthesized literature review across multiple disciplines, will hopefully provide, again, that common ground for scholars and professionals interested in understanding and providing structured experiences. So again, the SC framework provides a conceptualization that incorporates a variety of disciplinary perspectives regarding experiences. The framework also encompasses the dynamic nature of experiences as a latent construct resulting from reciprocal and iterative interactions between participants and providers. The research talks about limitations. Of course, the assumptions here are that leisure, recreation, and marketing structured experience frameworks can indeed form kind of this more cohesive and common structured experience framework. But the authors acknowledge, it is possible that there are experiences outside of this framework and outside of this norm. In conclusion, the authors make the point that leisure, recreation, and marketing have this in common. All are in the business of staging quality experiences that are valued by customers, participants, clients, patients, or students. To say this in another way, all of these different groups that are supporting these types of structured experiences all want the same thing. They all want to provide a memorable moment for those they seek to please, that will bring them back and create loyalty and create something that is worthwhile for them beyond just a tangible product or service. And the framework suggests that participants experience the same common phases, elements, and processes within experiences that are facilitated by any organization. So regardless of the type of experience, this notion that the experience begins in anticipation of the experience, that it happens during the experience, and then upon reflection of the experience, and that the participant is also a co-creator of the experience. They have emotion, they have ideas, they have expectations that need to be considered and go along into and be a part of the experience. And there's also a feedback loop. So not one experience can be the same from one person to the next, as the provider of the experience is kind of looking for those cues and modifying the experience along the way to make certain that ultimately the experience is most worthwhile for the person that you're seeking to please, and to provide a structured experience that is worthwhile and memorable. Thank you so much.